I've made, you know, films about grief, and I've written a book about loss, and I have 7 albums about loss, really. One of them is about a breakup. But that's a loss. I've been thinking that I'm ready to tell some new stories, and not just tell some new stories, but stop talking about grief. And I'm saying this reluctantly because maybe it's famous last words. I did an interview for Unreserved recently and about the films, and Rosanna was like, so when you were here 3 years ago talking about your book, you were like, I'm done, I've written a book about loss, I'm moving on. And then I'm like, I'm back. I'm back. And I was like, yes, but it's other people's stories about loss, so there is some shift. I don't know if I'll ever be completely finished with talking about grief, because I'll never be free of grief. None of us will be. And because of how strongly I feel about the need for space for sorrow and despair, and wanting to offer that space. But I do think I'm reaching a point where I'm done doing podcast interviews about it, maybe. I'm not going to write another book about loss. So I think it will always be there, but I feel relief because it's been 16 years of doing this, but I think I finally feel like I've expressed enough of it. I know someone's going to find this and be like, when I make my feature film about loss, they're going to be like, you said. But I'm waiting in some ways to see what's going to kind of come next. Like, if I'm not talking about grief, what am I doing? Like, I've been grief guy for a long time, but I'm kind of excited to find out what else I could be.